What's up, world? It's me, Nez. Welcome to TONEZTELLY. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about Betty Irabor, her book called Dust to Dew. Okay, so if you're not in Nigeria and you're wondering who the Betty Irabor is, she's a big celebrity here. She's the MD and CEO of the popular Genevieve magazine, a beautiful lifestyle magazine here in Nigeria that is very, very popular. At the moment, I think it's about 12 years old now, or 10 years old at least. Married to the famous Sonny Irabor, a veteran journalist who my husband is so in love with him, right? He listens to him every Sunday on Inspiration FM. So if you want to know more about this lady and her mental health struggles that she went through, that's what this book is about, please grab a friend, grab a popcorn, grab a seat, and keep watching. I don't know what's exciting me like this. Okay, so guys, welcome to TONEZTELLY. If this is your first time here, every Monday and Friday we share a book, we talk about a book. I read a book every Monday and Friday, and we sit down and talk about it, and then you can decide if you want to read it or not. And of course, my subscribers, thank you for coming back. I love you guys for constantly being constant with me. Okay, so this book shook several tables on my head, right? In my mind, I'm one of those people that actually have no idea what mental health issues are, and one of them is depression. That's exactly what this book is about. I'm going to be looking at my laptop a lot, right? So apologies in advance. So the lady basically talked about how shortly after she turned 50, she sank into depression. Like, I don't know whether it's induced by insomnia, because it started with insomnia. She literally stopped sleeping well. Like, for years she didn't sleep well, and then after a while she just became very depressed. Also after menopause. Honestly, the story is, as in, like, the wealth of the story, the body of the story is like, it's so much. There's so many things that came together to make this happen. But again, I repeat, depression is one thing I've never quite known or understand. I know that it exists, but I just know that it was something. It's one of those things that I've just never quite understood. Like, how do you just wake up and become very depressed? When I grew up, I believed I was depressed, but I don't know, honestly. Anyway, so basically she details her story, her struggles, especially being in Nigeria and all that. So I know that this is something like the World Health Organization literally said in 2012 that depression and anxiety, or mental health like depression and anxiety, will be like 50% of the leading cause of death. And we know now, a lot of us know or have heard of somebody that's actually either attempted suicide or did commit suicide. So it's fast becoming an issue. Like, this is something that could have been called, if this was like a physical health problem, it would have been called a pandemic like some 3 or 4 years ago. So the woman talks about it. Her husband also writes a foreword at the end, talking about what his experience was like living with someone that was depressed, was suffering from depression for 5 years. Guys, 5 years after being married to someone for over 20 years. Oh boy, the thing is just, it's crazy. That's all I can say. It's a crazy situation. The woman details the story. She really opened my mind to a lot of things, but I want to talk about 5 things I learned from this book. I'm talking of this woman almost killed herself, right? At a particular time, even for her husband, really, she collected a bottle of antidepressants and wanted to just throw everything back, and her husband was there to save the day. That I'm very thankful for, because I don't know, would have been talking about this story. Short, I won't hear this story. I won't have been able to read this story, because she wrote this story after it happened. Right now she's 60, she's over 60 years, she's like 62 or 63 years old. So you can know that, all this serious, it's a very serious something. But anyway, I want to talk about 5 things that I learned from the book. Now, 5 things doesn't mean that it's all I learned. There are several other things, but I want to just point out a few things that we might need to know, at least the things that I learned. First of all, depression is real. I used to just think that depression was just when you just feel sad. Depression is not sad. When something is 5 years old, she suffered depression for 5 years. You know what that means? Anyway, so like, I feel like as somebody, if you're around somebody that is depressed, you have to learn to be sensitive. I'm actually guilty of being very sensitive to people that are depressed. I always feel like, what do you have to be depressed about? I beg, relax. I know she's somebody that has achieved so much. Again, just do a bit of research on her. Betty Irabor, she has done so much for herself. She's run this magazine. She's doing the pink ball. Like, she's making things happen, right? She's scoring. She's like a big, it's called big boys, big women in Nigeria, and she felt worthless. It's like this alternative reality where you just feel like you're nothing, and you stay there, and it's hard for you to come out. So it was pretty much like that. So depression is real. You have to be very, as somebody that is around somebody that is depressed, you have to learn to be sensitive. That's number 1. So back to my laptop. Number 2, medication. She did something that scared me. I was like, why do you do that? But then I realized a lot of us in Nigeria, we actually do this. Medication, like the first time she went to see a doctor, the doctor told her she was going to give her something like an injection, and she took it. She didn't bother asking what it was. How? That thing, I'm like, please, if you're somebody, repent. If you're somebody that just goes somewhere, they tell you take this injection and you take it, please repent. Find out what it is. Find out the name. Do you understand? Don't just be collecting things and shoving it into your tummy. And I know doctors kind of make it hard. here in Nigeria. But see, ask questions. I know me, I quarreled with some doctors because I told you guys that when I had my baby, I had a heart disease, right? I was dealing with a heart disease. Every medication I took, I asked questions, and trust me, it saved me because there were some other things that could have been a problem if I hadn't asked those questions. Because I started asking some other people, okay, what do you think about this? And they're like, okay, this is going to be a problem after a while. Some medication can help you now. Most medications will help you instantly. They give instant relief. If you continue to take it after a year or so, you might start losing your hair. There's one they told me about that can grow hump at the back. You have to make your decision and be sure what you're doing. So please ask questions when you're taking medication. I mean, when she told me, I was like, yeah. When I was reading the book, and she was like, how they gave her injection inside her vein. And she didn't know, all she knew was like how to make her feel better. And she just took it and anyway, she thought that to be something that she had no business taking. So that was number 2. Number 3 is forgiveness. Yes, I keep talking about the importance of forgiving family members. Some people are toxic, some people do horrible things to you. Yes, it is true. But trust me, you need to live in forgiveness. You have to not allow yourself to be in a toxic place when it comes to your family members. In a very dramatic, I don't think I've ever heard anything like this in my life before. She had a severe relationship with her dad. Her dad literally just picked her and her siblings up one day and dropped her off with her mom, and that was it. They never saw him again until later. The thing is that shortly after she got married, like when she was getting married, she tried to get this man to be in the wedding. He did not come. But shortly after she got married, this man showed up in her house out of nowhere, and she didn't even want to talk to the man. Like, it was her husband told her, see, just go and say hello first. She greeted like nothing was happening, but she didn't want to talk to him. So she didn't say anything, and the man eventually left. A few months after this, the man died. This woman I'm talking about is 63 or 64 years old. She still regrets not having that closure with her dad, having conversation with her dad, forgiving her dad. Forgive. I'm telling you, it is very helpful. It helps you with your mental health. Now, I'm not saying that it's her not forgiving her dad that made her, that gave her the depression. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that those things go a long way to help. So that's number 3. Number 4 is, what else? Your friends and your family. I feel like, okay, this one is a point for friends and family. If you're around somebody that is depressed, right, get to a point where you just allow them to talk. I feel like when people are depressed, all they want to actually do is talk. From what I gather from this book, all they just want to do is talk to somebody. They don't like when you talk and all you want to do is try and fix them. Try and do this one. Try and do that one. Not like you shouldn't try, but don't do it like instantly. Sometimes people just want to be heard. Let them talk. Let them say their mind, and leave them be for a few minutes. Just let them talk. So that's another one. Then the last, and definitely not the least, if you personally are feeling any form of depression and all that, I'm going to put some links below this book. I've asked a few people to send me links and they haven't answered me, but once they do, I'll put the links with this thing. If you're feeling any form of like anxiety or depression, there are actually people that are now willing to help. She went through hers, I think, in 2012 or so. So at that time, it wasn't very popular, and she kept going from psychiatrist to doctor to doctor to doctor. Oh boy, the woman, she traveled around, right? She even went outside the country, and she just never seemed to get help that could work. So I think that, if you feel this kind of thing right now, there are people that may be willing to help you. About this book, though, I feel like you may not feel like it's in touch, because she's a big woman. You don't have her purse and all that. She was someone that traveled to Dubai to see doctor, traveled to UK. At one point, she was in the US. I don't think that you should feel like, because I don't have money, I will not be able to get solution. I feel like in the end, she was actually able to get a therapist that helped her. It was her husband that actually helped her to get a therapist, and she was able to get someone to help her and to help her to get way better. And now she's as good as ever, even better. Now she feels like she has a new lease on life, and she can do anything she wants. Honestly, this book is wonderful. I don't think I've read a book that educated me this much about mental health. That being said, I wish that more people write about things like menopause, depression. Like, I wish people can tell their own stories, write books, say this is what happened to me. Even things like the depression that comes from childbirth, postpartum, all those things that can come up. We know that there's some kind of schizophrenia that could actually happen just from after you give birth. So I feel like those things, I wish people can write about it, because I want to write. So if you know anything, please put it in the comment section for me. Let me know, because I really want to read more. This month I'm planning to talk all about mental health. So if you don't know anything about this book already, the book is available on Amazon. So if you're outside Nigeria, you should be able to get it. But if you're within Nigeria, check out Robin Heights on Instagram. They would send it to you wherever it is you are in Nigeria. I think they'll actually send outside the country, but if you're outside the country, I'll say check out Amazon, because it's there. Then if you have BAM books, or if you haven't, download BAM books. That's why I read it. Read it on BAM books, and then enjoy it. I just hope that you're able to find whatever it is that you may be going through. You're able to find help fast, because it's not worth it. She almost ended her life, but she's here to talk about the good news and all that. And I have so many questions in my head. Like, anyway, the book is wonderful, totally worth the read. And honestly, if you have any mental health issues that you might have going on with you, please don't forget to leave a comment below, and I'll leave a link. I'll definitely leave at least one link to tell you someone that you can talk to who can help you and all that. So if you haven't already, please like this video, share it. This, I think, is something that is worth talking about. I feel like this book is a book everybody should try and read. So share this video, like the video, leave a comment below, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.